Alrighty, welcome everybody. This is the first ever District 142 podcast episode. I'm coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina. My name is Todd. I'm the Director of Communications for District 142, and I am very happy and very honored to have my very first guest on the very first podcast is Dee Colbert. She is the Director of Organizing for District 142, and you can see the beautiful skyline of Atlanta behind her. And so, yes, absolutely representing the South for this one. And we're both very happy to be here and excited that we're going to try this new format out here to bring more information to our members. So we're going to talk about organizing. And wow, I mean, where do you even start with organizing? You know, I've always felt like organizing is one of those things that not everybody can do, but in a way, if you're a union member, you're an organizer in a way. It's
Absolutely,
just
absolutely.
even if you don't consider yourself an organizer, you're out there every day. You're sort of a brand ambassador. So you're going to be sharing unionism with your friends, your family, maybe even total strangers. So even if you don't think you're organizing, you might be. So I think in a way that's something that we all are, even if we think we're not cut out to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's my thoughts exactly.
Well, let me
Yep.
ask
So,
you. So how did you get started just with your union career, not with organizing? How did your union career start?
well, I was hired by Southwest Airlines in February of 1998. I started in Baltimore, Maryland, which is where I'm from.
Okay.
So I was customer service. All of the people on our property at Southwest are union. I was just lucky enough to get the IAM. So, like I
Excellent.
said, I started in Baltimore, and then 2012. The company decided to open in Atlanta. So I put in for the transfer and I've been representing out of Atlanta ever since.
Excellent, excellent. So, how did you get interested in organizing? Like, what led you down that path? Because, everyone sort of has a trajectory with their union career. They start out as a shop steward, maybe they go to a committee member or a local, officer. How did you end up in organizing?
Yeah, and exactly like that. I actually been a shop steward ever since my second year at the company. And I've been with Southwest or on the staff at Southwest 25 years. And the way it kind of rolled into organizing, like I said, I was always a shop steward. I participated at the local. I was a recording secretary in Baltimore, a trustee, conductor sentinel. I served as vice president down here in Atlanta. Different roles. Attended classes, leadership classes at Singer, and organizing has been a focus throughout our time. And ultimately in 2019 they were looking for someone in Atlanta to help service with organizing, and Grand Lodge rep Sean Ryan actually is who told them, hey, I got somebody for you. She's right in Atlanta and I know she can do it. She'll be perfect. And I rolled into the office literally the very next day and met Fabian Liendo,
Yep.
and Fabian's with the organizing department from Grand Lodge, and he took me in and taught me so much while he was here in Atlanta. And ultimately, a few months later, I became the team lead in Atlanta on the Delta campaign.
Excellent.
And that was, like I said, in 2019. So I've been servicing and organizing ever since.
Wow.
PDGC Coveney called upon me, and last year in February, I was appointed director. So it's been a wild ride, but I'm here. I love to work with people. I love to help people. Whether I mean, started all the way back to high school where I was doing service, community service. I served on different committees, and I always helped at the church with different activities. I'm a people person, and I just feel like if people's rights are being violated, I like to be there to assist them.
Right.
I like to educate them on their basic rights. Even if we don't go into a deep conversation, I could point them in the direction of a website or another person to talk to. I'm always willing to help out. So organizing is just a good fit for me. So
Perfect. And isn't it interesting too when you're out there in the field talking to people, the number of people who don't even realize that they have these opportunities available to them. And a lot of them, they may have been union members in the past and maybe they're not now, but they do not realize that there are opportunities and there are certain rights that they have that unions can come in and basically, like you say, it goes beyond, to me, it goes beyond your workers' rights. It goes to your basic human rights. And it's all sort of rolled into one when it comes to organizing.
Absolutely. And to see the look on someone's face when you start explaining these things and the light bulb goes off
Yeah.
and they realize, hey, I've heard that before, but I didn't know that pertained to me, or I didn't know I was able to do that. Can you tell me more about it? And again, it, like you said, it services into everything. Just like, this is June.
Right.
We live for diversity and culture and
Absolutely.
equality in everything we do, with our members. So, with organizing, it could be any sector of work that we can cross into and include diversity that way as well. A lot of us are airline based, but we do service Apple, we service
Right.
libraries, so it's very, very advanced nowadays, and the possibilities are unlimited. I mean,
Absolutely.
everyday conversation in your dry cleaner's coffee shop, someone knows somebody that needs to be organized. Like you said, everyone can organize.
It's interesting, yeah. The what it means to be a machinist is changing now. We're fortunate to be in this period of time now where it's not just airline workers or railroad workers. I mean, what it means to be a machinist, and the machinist union is expanding and diversifying almost faster than we can keep up. It's an exciting time to be a union member. It really is.
Yes, it is. It's very exciting. There's some things that work in our favor as far as legislature. There's still a long way to go, but
Yep.
we're going to take the hand we're dealt and run with it. We
Right.
get out there and take advantage of the time we have, and you have to strike the iron while it's hot.
That's
John
exactly
tells
right.
you all the time, strike the iron while it's hot. So,
Well, it's funny. I was gonna ask you a question, and you sort of already answered it, which is very cool. I was gonna ask you who sort of was there anyone who mentored you early on, or sort of helped bring you into organizing? And you mentioned Fabian as being one of the ones who
mhm.
sort of took you under his wing. And I've had a couple opportunities to spend time with him in the past year, and he's still out there doing it, and
Absolutely,
he's
yeah.
still a force to be
And
reckoned
he's the
with.
kind of guy, if I have a question, I know I can go back and call him and, get clarity. He has a wealth of knowledge in the topic. And then on top of that, John was the leader of the campaign.
Hmm.
PDGC Coven, he was the leader. So, I got put in at just the right time with just the right people, so I
Right.
was able to absorb so much so fast because of who I had around me. So,
It's amazing how that works, the way that trajectory works sometimes. So, we were talking about how important it is for young people, or especially, I should say, young members, really, because you might not necessarily be a young person, but you could be a young member of the IEM. How important is it for them to have somebody like that to help them move up through the ranks? We all of us, we had somebody who sort of showed us the way. And as we look down the road to this next generation that's going to be coming in behind us, and it's coming fast. We like to think it's not, but it's
mhm.
coming fast. And so I feel like, those of us who are now, we need to start looking down the road to say, who's going to take my place one day, or who's going to help move into these positions. So how important is that we look down the road and we find these young people, these young members, and we bring them in and we take them under our wing, and we say, we're going to teach you through our experience so that one day you can take over for us. How important is that, you think, when it comes to the organizing side?
Oh, absolutely. For anything in the union, looking toward a future is always paramount. And in organizing, what's really starting to happen is the way we organize is changing. The way we record our data, the way we head out and hold different types of rallies and things of that nature.
Right.
Just the technology we're using right now
Right.
helps us get to so many people so much faster. For instance, if I have inside committees that I'm building and I know these people are pressed for time and I could do a Zoom call, that would have never happened 20 years ago. And it's making it
Right.
so much easier to have that face-to-face conversation that's so important with organizing. And, as far as the generational portion of that, You have a lot of young people that have a lot of great ideas. They are out there, they doing social media, and social media, as we know, has taken over quite a bit in our culture.
Yep.
So we even include pages for people to be able to be in a safe space to talk to us and comment and things like that. And having the younger people run them is a great way to get them started in dealing with the union and its practices. So yes, getting the young people involved to fill our positions, as we move up and retire is an absolute great idea.
Right.
Building the union, you can't just be a member. Everyone should be doing something
Right.
to take part in their union. Own it. It's your union. Do what you can to make it greater. So
Absolutely. Just that is so true. And you talk about making the IAM greater, or making it better. So organizing is playing a huge part in that right now. And it seems to me like the focus has really shifted dramatically in the last few years, where organizing has really come to the forefront. I mean, we saw it at the Grand Lodge convention this year, where they put a
mhm.
huge emphasis on the fact that they were going to go out and they're going to hire hundreds, maybe thousands of organizers. So, how important is organizing right now, not just to District 142, but to the IAM, and let's say to unions in general? How important is it right now to put that focus on organizing?
It's a lot of different factors on why organizing is so important overall. It's important to the union because organizing is the lifeline to our membership. We want to increase our member numbers. We want to help as many people as possible. So the best way to do it is to bring more brothers and sisters into our organization. Organizing for society is so important. Corporate greed and things that are happening out there
Right.
and how people are being taken advantage of. What better way to get them what they need, a good contract, better benefits, things of that nature, than to organize them?
Yep.
You know, and the process, although maybe a long process, if they're ready, is not that complicated. It's a basically step by step that we practice over and over again with every property. So,
Right.
once people come to a realization, hey, we can come together and do this, look at what they're telling us, and the IEM is here for us, it could be done. And it is important that we get, as many people as possible involved. So,
Wow. Well, speaking for, and I'm talking about just for District 142, how many organizing campaigns do we have going on right now? How many different ones do we have out there? Not necessarily how many different cities, but just different properties or different companies, different groups that we're trying to organize. How many do we have out there right now?
Currently, I have, which is widely publicized, our largest is the Delta
Right.
campaign. We are the major sponsor, along with Grand Lodge, of the Delta campaign out of District 142. So, for ours being the ramp service side of the Delta campaign, about a little over 18,000 members that they have on the books. I'll say it like that they have on the books.
Right.
So, that's the major push right now. But other than that, I have four other smaller campaigns that are going on. I won't give the properties, but I will say we are in O'Hare, we are in Hartford, we are in JFK.
Okay.
We have a small municipality in Florida that has
Nice.
actually reached out that we are looking to follow on very soon. So we are involved quite a bit and looking to get more leads every day.
That
So
is
if
exciting.
anybody, if they say they're ready or want more information, we're here for them.
That is amazing. I mean, you don't. I guess we really don't know where it's coming from on any given day. Anybody could pick up the phone tomorrow, so to speak, or send an email and
Hmm.
start that ball rolling. And that's what's
Oh yeah,
exciting about it. We might look for it 4 years down the road. We might look back at 2023 and say, "Wow, that was a year that we organized so and so that we never saw coming." So I mean,
right.
that's exciting. So, like, we talked earlier about how everybody is sort of an organizer. And I had an experience, I guess it was a couple of years ago, maybe about a year ago, because I don't remember exactly. when it was. It was during the pandemic, and as you know, we all sort of. I feel like that was sort of some missing time there that where we kind of went through a time warp during the pandemic. But I had a personal experience that made me think about what we all can do out in the field. So let's just say we're out there going through our personal life, just our day-to-day life. And I'll use my example. My wife and I were driving through a city. We were visiting family. And this is back when the Starbucks drives were first going on, the very first Starbucks organizing drives. And we
Okay.
were getting ready to get on the interstate. And like a lot of Starbucks, there was one that was right off the interstate, right off I-85. And as we were getting ready to get onto the interstate, we come past this Starbucks, and there was a large group of employees out front that were picketing. And I was going fast enough that I didn't really have time to stop, but I was enough that I was able to see the signs. And they were picketing they were doing it like informational picketing. Basically, it was like a union now type thing. And, my
Okay.
wife's like, wow, are they trying to unionize? And, I considered turning around and going back. We were sort of on a little bit of a tight schedule at the time. So I had to kind of make that decision, do we go back or do we just keep going? And I decided to keep going. And it bothered me as I went on through the next few days and weeks. And I started seeing more in the news about Starbucks employees that were trying to organize. I thought, how cool it would have been to stop and just say, hey, look, I'm an IAM member. I actually, or I'm a full-time IAM staff member. And, what can I do to help? And I didn't do that. And I feel like that a lot of our members may have those opportunities. They may run across that when they're out and around just going through their day-to-day life. What would you say to our members to say, here's how you can help?
Well, even if you don't have the information you think you would need to assist them, say you saw the picket signs and you saw them out there,
Mhm.
if you were able to stop, you could engage in a conversation. Hey, um, are you guys picketing on your own? I mean, we can find out who may be sponsoring their
Right.
action. If no one's sponsoring their action, you can always say, like you said, hey, I work for the IAM. This is our website.
Right.
Give them the website. That my phone number, my information. You can always, if you don't have time to stop in the future, you can remember where that site is and let me know, and then I can research to see if they are already being represented.
Right.
So even if you don't have a whole lot of time, you say, hey, that Starbucks was on the corner of blah blah blah,
Right.
and you say, AD, this is what I got, check it out.
I'll get you
So
that
it can be that easy.
Well, that's good to know because I do feel like that probably happens with some of our members when they're out and around, and a lot of them probably
Mhm.
just don't know what to say. Even if they do have time to stop, they maybe don't know what to say or they don't know how to go about it. So they just probably just keep on moving on. So it's good to know that, even if you don't really have anything planned, if you just stop and show your support and maybe point them in our
Mhm.
direction through a website or something of that nature, that you're helping out in some small way.
Absolutely, absolutely. And and like you said before, it's not for everybody. You may want to help because you have understood the benefits of the union. You have benefited from the benefits of the union. So that could be your small way of giving back.
Right.
Just go ahead and get a small piece of information for me to go on so I could take charge and run right in it. So
Right. That's good to know. Well, District 142 needs organizers. We do know that. I've been well aware of that for a while. So how can someone get involved? If there's someone out there right now that's a District 142 member and they're thinking, yeah, this is what I want to do, how do they get involved?
Oh, there's a couple of ways you could do it. In your local lodge meetings, quite a few local lodges have organized committees.
Mhm.
Even if they haven't established a committee, your local lodge recording secretary or president may be able to take your information and put you in touch with the district. Let our office know. They'll get in touch with me. You can do it that way. You can contact me directly by email at D as in David Colbert at IAMDL142.org.
Okay.
You can contact me directly by telephone at area code 470-483-4230. Or if you want to see an overview, because we do now have a great website that's been put up, it'll have some organizing pictures, information. The same information I just shared will be there. You can reach our website at atd142.org and just touch on that organizing section and send us a message. So, there's plenty of ways to get in touch and get involved. So, we look forward to hearing from everybody.
Excellent. And when this, as this video comes to an end, I will make sure that I put all that information on the screen. So, our viewers will be able to get that and they'll be able to pause and write that down. And we'll have the web address and some screenshots for everybody there. So I've really enjoyed speaking with you today. I feel like I've learned a little bit more about organizing, just myself. And I've been around the block for a while. I've been doing this, I've been involved in the union for a long time, but organizing is a little bit, foreign for me. I've not spent a lot of time doing it. So I feel like I learned something. I hope our viewers learned something, and I hope there's some people out there who will watch this video who will say, this is what I needed to know. This is how I want to get involved. And we help pick this up and just keep this ball rolling. So thank you, Dee Colbert. I appreciate your time and I appreciate your expertise. And you're doing amazing work out there. And just keep doing it. And we'll keep doing everything we can to grow the IAM and District 142.
Thank you so much, Todd. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to take part in your inaugural podcast. So I'll look forward to seeing everything else that comes out from the district. Yay, we're moving up and moving out. So
Absolutely, we are. And thank you again. So to our viewers out there, stick around as this part of the podcast winds up, and we'll have some information for you here related to organizing. And Dee, good to talk to you. And everyone, we'll see you all again soon.